The universe does not speak English. It speaks in frequency. It speaks in pattern. You glance at the clock. It is exactly 11:11. You walk down the street, and a license plate catches your eye. It holds the exact sequence of numbers that means something only to you. You walk into a cafe, and the song playing is the exact song that triggers a memory you have been trying to suppress. You are seeing the signs everywhere, the symbols, the synchronicities. They follow you like a shadow, and yet you look at your physical reality and nothing has changed. The silence is still there. The distance remains. You are exhausted from waiting. You are tired of reading tea leaves in a world that feels painfully stagnant. And in the quiet hours of the night, a heavy, terrifying question sinks into your chest. Am I crazy? Am I just making this all up to soothe my own breaking heart? You are not crazy, but you have been given the wrong map. Today we are going to dismantle the superstition. We are going to move beyond the spiritual fluff, the endless waiting, and the toxic hope that keeps you trapped in a cycle of longing. We are going to look at the exact physics of pattern recognition. We are going to explore the architecture of your mind and why the universe is mirroring your internal state back to you through numbers and symbols. We are going to bridge the gap between human psychology and quantum entanglement. Take a deep breath. Let us begin. Let us start with the biology of your obsession. Let us look at exactly why you see repeating numbers and symbols during massive, high vibrational shifts. To understand the universe, we must first understand the architecture of your own mind. At the base of your brainstem, there's a small, finger-sized bundle of nerves. It is called the Reticular Activating System, the RAS. This tiny network of neurons is the gatekeeper of your reality. At any given second, your brain is bombarded by roughly 11 million bits of information. You are surrounded by overlapping colors, chaotic sounds, complex textures, and endless data. But your conscious mind can only process about 40 bits per second. If you felt every single piece of data, if you noticed every shift in the wind and heard every distant conversation, your nervous system would immediately collapse. It would be entirely too much to bear. So, the RAS acts as a relentless bouncer at the door of your consciousness. It filters out the noise of the world. It only lets in the information that it believes is absolutely crucial for your survival. And how does this biological gatekeeper know what is crucial? It listens to your focus. It listens closely to your emotional intensity. When you are acting as the holder of space, your emotional intensity is at an absolute peak. Your nervous system is trapped in a state of hypervigilance. You are deeply sensitive right now. You are constantly scanning your environment for safety, for answers, and for any sign of connection. You have assigned a massive emotional weight to this specific dynamic. You have assigned profound meaning to certain numbers, specific dates, names, and symbols. Because you told your brain that these things matter to your survival, your RAS programs itself to hunt for them. It actively sifts through millions of meaningless data points just to show you the repeating numbers on the digital clock. It highlights their specific car model on a crowded, moving highway. It pushes their name to the forefront of your vision on a random billboard This is the biological mechanism of your longing. Your brain is simply following your emotional instructions. But biology is only half the story. If we stop at the brainstem, we dismiss the profound magic of the human experience. We dismiss the soul. To truly understand why these patterns are hunting you down, we must look at what the great psychoanalyst Carl Jung called synchronicity. Jung defined synchronicity as an acausal connecting principle. This means two events happen at the exact same time. They do not cause one another in a traditional physical sense, yet they share a deep, profound, and undeniable meaning. Jung believed that the human psyche and the physical world are not separate entities. They are two sides of the very same coin. He called this the unus mundus, the one world. The internal and the external are constantly speaking to each other in a hidden language. When you undergo a profound spiritual awakening, your internal frequency radically changes. You step into a literal state of quantum entanglement. In quantum physics, when two particles become entangled, they share a single existence. A shift in one instantly creates a corresponding shift in the other. Distance does not matter. Time does not matter. The physical space between them is completely irrelevant to the connection. You are intrinsically, permanently linked to the unawakened counterpart. You share a quantum field. You share an invisible, energetic tether that defies logic. But human dynamics are deeply complex. When they pull away from the connection, they step into the role of the avoidant soul. They retreat into the dense, logical, fear-based layers of the physical world. When they do this, it creates a sudden, massive vacuums in your shared quantum field. You, as the anxious heart, feel this vacuum deeply in your own nervous system. You feel the painful pulling of tangled threads. You feel the sudden drop in temperature in your energetic space. Your mind panics at the silence. Your heart aches from the sudden withdrawal of their energy. So you begin to seek validation from the external world. You desperately need proof that the internal connection is still real. You need evidence that you are not losing your mind in the quiet hours of the night. And the universe responds to this desperate plea. The universe acts as a giant, flawless mirror of your frequency. It reflects that desperate internal search back to you in the form of physical symbols. You are seeing the signs because your internal state is broadcasting a massive electromagnetic signal. Your soul is shouting into the void, and the void is echoing your own voice back to you. The repeating numbers, the impossible coincidences, the songs on the radio, these are the physical manifestations of your own spiritual gravity. You are bending reality with the sheer force of your emotional focus. The mirroring is absolute. The universe is showing you exactly what you are feeling. It is making the invisible bond visible. It does this not to torture you, but to validate the unseen, undeniable reality of your connection. Here is where we must entirely flip the script. Here is the profound realization that will finally set you free from the exhaustion of waiting. You have been deeply misinterpreting the signs. You see a repeating number. You see their birthday. You hear their name spoken by a stranger in a crowded room. Your mind immediately leaps to a single desperate conclusion. Your mind says, "This means they are coming back." Your mind says this means they are thinking of me right now. Your mind says the universe is promising me a specific romantic outcome. This is the ultimate trap of the human ego. This is where spiritual confirmation bias keeps you chained to a waiting room of your own design. You are using the infinite intelligence of the cosmos to soothe a temporary human ache. You are looking at the vastness of the universe and asking it to play the role of a matchmaker. You are seeking a guarantee in a realm that only deals in growth. The universe is not showing you these signs to keep you waiting for the avoidant soul. The universe is entirely unconcerned with human timelines. It is unconcerned with text messages and apologies. The universe is showing you these signs to show you yourself. The signs are indeed breadcrumbs scattered along the path, but they are not leading you back to them. They are leading you back to your own center. When you experience a profound synchronicity, it is merely a cosmic feedback loop. The universe is trying to get your attention. It is saying, look how incredibly powerful your frequency has become. Look how your internal state bends the external reality around you. Look how awake you are. It is a direct reminder of your own quantum gravity. It is the physical world bowing to the spiritual weight you now carry. But what do you do with that immense gravity? You immediately give it away. You project all of that beautiful, potent energy outward. You project it onto someone who is currently entirely incapable of holding it. The unawakened counterpart cannot carry the weight of your spiritual expansion. They are terrified of the depth you are asking them to navigate. Yet you continue to bleed your life force into their absence. You use the synchronicities as an excuse to stay anchored to a ghost. You use the magic of the universe to justify your own stagnation. You have made them the sun. You have made yourself a tiny planet endlessly orbiting their potential. This is why you are so deeply exhausted. You are powering a connection entirely on your own. You are sending all of your light into a void and wondering why you feel so incredibly dark. The friction you feel right now is intense. The pain of the separation feels unbearable on some days. But this pain is not punishment from a cruel universe. It is a strict architectural requirement for your personal expansion. You are being aggressively forced to wake up. You are being forced to realize that you are the ocean. You are not the drop. If you were not in this specific pain, you would not be searching for a deeper meaning. If you were not searching, you would not be dismantling the old versions of yourself. You would have stayed asleep. You would have settled for a life and a love that required less than your total alignment. The avoidant soul was simply the catalyst to break your heart wide open so the light could finally get in. Their departure was the exact mechanism required to launch you into your own spiritual sovereignty. The signs you see are not a guarantee of a romantic reunion. They are a profound confirmation of divine alignment. They are the universe telling you that you are fully online. You are securely connected to the grid of higher consciousness. You are vibrating at a frequency that alters the physical world. This is a terrifying and beautiful power. But you must stop using this power to manifest a return from someone who is running from themselves. You must use this power for your own evolution. You must pull your energy back from the tangled threads of the past. When you finally understand that the synchronicities are about you, everything changes. The waiting stops. The obsession fades. You realize the universe was never teasing you with their memory. It was simply handing you a mirror and begging you to look at your own magnificent reflection. It is time to stop reading the signs as a promise of their return. It is time to start reading them as the undeniable proof of your own arrival. How do we stop obsessing over the signs? How do we transition from an exhausted waiter to an empowered creator? Philosophical understanding is beautiful, but without practical application, it is just another form of spiritual bypassing. We must bring this profound realization down into the dense reality of the physical body. We must change the way your brain processes these patterns in real time. To do this, you must make 3 specific internal shifts. You can begin making them today. You can begin right now. The first necessary shift is to entirely uncouple the sign from the outcome. Tomorrow, you will inevitably look at the clock at exactly 11:11. Or perhaps their birthday will suddenly appear on a random license plate. When this happens, pay strict attention to your physical body. Notice the immediate spike of anxiety in your chest. Notice the sudden, dangerous rush of hope. This is a conditioned biological reflex. You have trained your nervous system to link that specific symbol to a romantic reunion. You must catch that reflex in the exact second it happens. And in that very moment, you must rewrite the meaning. Instead of letting your mind whisper that they are coming back, you must claim the moment for yourself. Say to yourself that you are in perfect alignment with the universe. Say that your energy is potent and awake. Take the synchronicity as a gentle wink from the cosmos. It is acknowledging your personal awakening. You must deliberately strip the unawakened counterpart out of the equation entirely. They do not own these numbers. They do not own these symbols. Reclaim the magic for your own solitary journey. The second shift requires you to regulate your nervous system. You must move from a state of waiting to a state of witnessing. As long as you are waiting, you are living in the future. And the future is a ghost. It does not exist. When you embody the role of the anxious heart, your nervous system is trapped in a subtle, chronic state of fight or flight. You are constantly anticipating an arrival that never comes. You cannot manifest peace from a state of biological panic. You cannot build a new reality while your body feels like it is running from a predator. When the synchronicities trigger a wave of emotion, do not dive into the story. Do not let your mind weave a narrative about what the sign means for your connection. Instead, drop heavily into your physical body. Feel the solid weight of your feet on the floor. Take a long, deep breath into your lower belly. Become the neutral witness to your own experience. Speak to yourself with calm detachment. Say aloud that it is fascinating how your brain recognizes these patterns. Marvel at how beautifully connected the fabric of the universe is. You must shift your internal state from desperation to curiosity. Curiosity is a very high frequency state. It is open, expansive, and light. Desperation is a dense, heavy block. It repels the very peace you are trying to cultivate. By becoming the witness, you take the emotional charge out of the synchronicity. You observe the sign without letting it control your heartbeat. The third and most vital shift is reclaiming your quantum gravity. Right now, your vital energy is leaking. You are sending all of your precious life force outward into the void. You are hoping that your longing will act as a tractor beam. You are hoping it will somehow pull the avoidant soul back into your orbit. But planetary gravity does not work by reaching out. Gravity works by becoming incredibly dense. It works by becoming heavy, stable, and completely centered in your own core. Think of the solar system. The sun does not chase the planets. It does not leave its center to convince the earth to stay near. It simply burns. It sits in its own magnificent, undeniable power. And because of that immense core strength, the planets naturally orbit around it. You must become the sun. You must pull your energy back from the external world. You must violently reclaim your focus. Invest that intense energy into your own purpose. Invest it into your financial stability. Invest it into the health of your physical body. Invest it into your own unshakable peace. When you stop projecting your immense power onto random signs, everything changes. And when you start pulling that power downward into your own spine, your entire reality will shift. You will no longer be a victim of the patterns. You will become the master of your own frequency. You will realize that the universe was never asking you to wait. It was only ever asking you to rise. The universe is speaking to you. That much is true. You are not crazy. You are deeply, profoundly awake. But you must understand the nature of the road. The signs are not the destination. They are just the road markers. If you're driving down the highway and you see a sign that says "Beautiful Vista ahead," you do not stop the car, get out, and hug the sign. You do not sit by the sign and wait. You acknowledge it, you smile, and you keep driving. Stop waiting for the signs to do the work for you. Stop waiting for the unawakened counterpart to suddenly match your frequency. Your journey is about your own sovereignty. It is about learning to navigate the intricate, beautiful web of this universe with grace, intelligence, and unshakable inner peace. You hold the space, not by waiting, but by living fully. Keep your eyes on the road. Keep driving. Until next time, travel well.